we are in the presence of a celebrity right now. This is
We are.
She did the Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray and Jeep.
That's it right there.
This is it. This is the one that started it all.
You planned that.
No, I didn't, but yeah, that's cool.
Come out of the mouth.
Just might happen. What
Yeah.
a little key.
She's the best.
Everyone deserves to feel their best. Everyone deserves to move their best and not have pain.
I'm a little upset that Ben got like 2 inches taller because he's already tall, dark, and handsome enough.
Culture is something we think about like all the time at Shruki's. You know, we're all coming from different cultures.
Our comments have exploded
Through the roof.
So there you go. Hey,
What's up?
we're live. I was so enthralled with the
always are.
intro. We were commenting, hey, Dominic turned 21.
He
and
did.
Don Cox from Prana Functional Therapy had hip surgery and got to experience what it's like to be one of her own patients.
That's right.
She actually referenced that in a Facebook post. And so anyway, it's always fun to see where we've been, where we're going here on the show. We're here every week, Monday at 2:00 live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So we'd love for you to like, subscribe, follow in those places. So this way, where you love watching this, you get it right delivered to you hot and fresh to your screen. Hot and fresh to your door is Shimano's Pizza. But we don't get, we keep this an organic podcast. We don't get that big podcast money like
Right.
some other shows get. So
Right.
I'm not going to give free advertising out to a big chain pizza store. But hot fresh to your screen or to your ears each week at 2:00.
Love it.
Just hit that like, subscribe button, and whatever way you like to watch us. You can also catch us on audio if you choose to just get all this beautifulness and take that out of your week. But we'd love for you to watch.
This is episode 122
100.
and the second to last episode of the year, believe it or not. Or wait, do we have 2 more? We have 2 more. That's right. We have 2 more.
Okay.
It's crazy.
You went to college. You should have better math than me.
It's crazy to think that the year is almost over.
My wife, happy birthday to my wife, Stephanie. It's her birthday today.
It's her birthday today?
It's her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
She's 29 again.
Oh,
And
good for her.
24 years ago, yesterday, we went on our first date. And I've been joking all weekend that we've been together for a whole century.
How's that?
We've been together all of the 21st century.
Oh, the whole century. I thought you said a whole century. I got you. Chris is laughing at me. You hear that?
I heard the snicker.
He's laughing.
I got taken to task this weekend about my word choices.
Yeah. You had some battles this weekend.
I did.
We gonna
We
bring
wanna
up the
get-
toothpaste?
We want to get into that? Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
On my personal social media channels, I dispense business advice and thinking about life and leadership. And, so I offer good stuff. But man, a comment about brushing your tooth. What am I saying here? How you water your toothpaste on your toothbrush. There we go. Blew up.
It wasn't just a comment. This is how you start your day every morning.
Mhm.
And it's wrong. It's just wrong.
Not according to a dental hygienist.
Well, that's what you said.
Their
yeah.
training. Respect the experts, Ben. So the whole question was, my wife and I, we were traveling this weekend. I had a business event I was speaking at Saturday in Cincinnati. So we made a little trip out of it for our anniversary, for her birthday. It was fun. We had a really great time, actually. Cincinnati's a very cool old city.
Never
A
been.
lot of Art Deco, old buildings, great city infrastructure with a connector rail that gets you all around. If you get the chance to go, you need something to drive to that's reasonable, I would recommend it. Some great steak joints. So yeah, there I posted it. After nearly 24 years together, I learned this morning that my lovely wife, Steph, must put water on her toothbrush before the toothpaste goes on.
Yep.
I choose to put water on top of the toothpaste. Who is right? And so there were 137 comments here and like 30 some reactions. Like this has been one of the larger posts. I mean, the funny thing about all of this is, with my efforts personally on social media, I have professional mode, which means I make a little bit of money. So like, I just embraced it because like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Look.
Yeah.
It's 130
So-
some comments.
And look, just because producer Chris and Ben are doing it wrong doesn't make it right.
Oh, that's right. Chris is a water first, toothpaste second. Yeah, that's how it's done.
Yeah, that's not according to the dental hygiene school. It's not. And so chime in if you want to. Like, what do? Do you put the water on your toothbrush first and then toothpaste, or you put the toothpaste on and then water? And I was thinking about this even more. This has so enthralled my mind that if you think about like welding and, marrying two surfaces together, you want adhesion and bondage.
Okay.
Well, toothpaste is moist. It has water content. Water and water makes it slipperier. If you make your bristles slippery, your toothpaste is even going to further fall off. It doesn't even matter. I don't have to go on. Dental hygienists are trained to put the brush, the toothpaste, the water. That's the stack. So get it right, Ben. Get it right, Chris.
You do know that your wife is always right.
Look, after being together for this whole century, I'm over that stuff. We're over that stuff. We just have a flow.
I love that our guest is in the background. We'll introduce our guest in just a few minutes here, but she's in the background, private chatting us about this question, so we'll have to ask her the same.
We'll get Valonda to weigh in, and then there was the bacon incident.
The bacon and the toilet paper. You had the toilet paper mixed in with the.
I didn't touch on toilet paper, did I?
No. You commented on it, or maybe somebody
else did. No, I just kept singular focus. We're going to have the poll about water on the toothpaste. So, and there was the whole bacon incident. But
bacon incident.
Yep. Yeah,
we 2023.
Yeah, we'll talk about. We'll see if the bacon incident. Well, okay, there it is. Let's get into it.
I love that you did a live feed. Steph's like, "Hi."
It wasn't live. I recorded it and then posted it. But anyway, so my wife loves, Mr. McClure. I'm speaking to Ben's father here.
No, see, he's doing it the way you do it.
Oh, yes.
First, water on top.
Love it.
See, I apparently I didn't learn how to brush my teeth from.
I was going to say, Mr. McClure.
Pops, what does mom do?
Your son has run awry.
Somewhere I learned to put water on first and then toothpaste after.
So the bacon incident was this. Steph loves crispy bacon. I think a lot of people like crispy bacon.
Yeah.
You
can't have sake bacon.
I'm kind of like, I guess if bacon was cooked like steak, I would probably be like a medium kind of guy.
Okay.
Steph's like, just make it chicken. And so my bacon at Cracker Barrel en route to Cincinnati had one piece that was very much to Steph's liking. And so I said, here, take this piece. Now, there's a whole thing in our family, and my boys know, everybody knows it. I don't share food. I mean, you can look at me. I don't share food. And so,
you don't.
Take this piece was offered and uttered verbatim with that entire understanding that there would be a trade back of bacon. And so
a reciprocation of kindness.
And that's what I realized this morning as well. The whole point of reciprocation of kindness has been missed.
See,
hashtag that.
I do agree with that.
Kindness.
Publicly, I sided with your wife just because I sided with her on the toothpaste
okay,
thing.
Benedict Arnold.
I do agree with the reciprocation of kindness.
And so, pushing the buttons. Okay. And so when long story short, because we do have a show to do, and it's not about toothpaste and bacon, although it has been very much at the forefront of everybody's mind in my world this weekend. So when 4 pieces of bacon ended up on Stephanie's plate and there were only 2 on my plate, I literally looked like it was like a double take, like, look at my wife, look down at the table. Look at my wife, look at the table. And I said, what just happened here?
It's like my bacon. It's on my plate now.
And so then the bacon piece came back and all was well. But even Mary Sue, our Cracker Barrel waitress, agreed that a trade back should have happened. And so,
so you did get your a piece of bacon back.
I did
eventually, but not at first.
But I was dismayed that I had to request it.
Yeah.
And so at any rate, all of this means nothing. All of it means everything because it's all fun and there's levity and laughter in life that we should be having. And hopefully in a way, we're bringing that to you through this show. So That's that.
We've got a few comments.
We do. Steve from the Global Group. Hey, Steve, thank you for watching. Longtime fan. Steve is somebody to connect to, so he's here in the comments. So connect to him because he puts a fantastic event on.
He does.
Every, I guess it's October.
October, yeah.
Live to Lead. We were there as a sponsor and attendees this year. So check him out. Be sure to connect with him. Karen, thank you for watching. You're a water first person too. You know, it's funny. All my life, I've been the guy.
In case the kids dropped it on the floor, I love it.
I've been the guy who says and does things first, even when it's unfashionable to do so. And I guess yet again this weekend, I've lived a bit of that.
What? I don't understand the water toothpaste water thing. That just seems like a waste of water and time. You do it once, either before or after.
Hey, you know, everybody brushes their teeth to their own tune.
Hey, yeah, you're right. As long as you brush your teeth,
right?
I mean, that should be.
I guess the saving grace is I got all these friends who brush their teeth. You know,
no bad breath anywhere.
Fantastic.
You got to wonder about the ones who haven't commented. What are they doing?
Yeah, I have 2,500 friends and only less than 5% tuned in on this one. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, we are well overdue for the Jeff and Ben banter on our script. We've extended into triple overtime on that.
Our sponsor probably wants some recognition.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. We do have a sponsor. And so this was a great conversation. And if you want a good conversation starter and you want a great gift this year, Lancaster Gift Box is the place to go. We are running a contest all month long. You go to lancasterconnects.com/contest and you can win their Taste of Lancaster gift box by entering there. Please go there and enter because you can enter to win that great little gift basket that we're raffling off. But listen, they have been curating amazing treats and tastes and things of Lancaster. They're at their store on Queen Street downtown. They serve local people. They serve friends and family, local and nationwide. And they've got this really great commitment to supporting our local producers, local makers, and really aggregating everything and putting it together in this amazing program. You go to lancastergiftbox.com and you can see all the stuff that they're doing to bring forth the local flavors of Lancaster County and distribute it nationwide. And maybe, I'm sure they've even gone worldwide. Gabriel seems like a worldwide kind of guy. And so check them out, lancastergiftbox.com. Go to lancasterconnects.com/contest to enter to win the Taste of Lancaster gift box.
We had Gabriel and Lancaster Gift Box on the show a couple of months ago, and a great interview, talked all about how the company started and what they do. And one of the things I thought was really cool about them is they do corporate gift boxes. You know, so if you're a big corporation or a smaller corporation and you have gifts to give out and you don't know what to give, or why not give people in your network a Taste of Lancaster? Taste of Lancaster box is one of their most popular gifts. So corporations, they actually are specialists in corporate gifting, which is pretty cool.
Yep, exactly. So from time to time, we get people who maybe can't be on the show, don't quite get to fall into our production schedule, and that's okay. We have an outlet for you. You can go to the website, lancasterconnects.com. There's a tab, Be on the Show, and you can share your news with the show. And so we have something special coming up with the holidays this weekend. This was kind of given to us this week. And so on Saturday, December 9th at 7 o'clock, there is a very cool concert that's happening. It's going to happen at the Wyndham Lancaster Resort and Convention Center, which for all you longtime Lancastrians is the old Lancaster Host Resort. So right out there on Lincoln Highway. Okay. And so this Saturday the 9th at 7 o'clock, this is brought to you by MIC International Trade Consulting, Liberty Place. They're happy to announce this international musical extravaganza called Vibrant Simplicity, the Concert Beyond Borders. So what's going on here? Saturday the 9th at 7 o'clock, doors open at 6:30. You're going to be able to take in multiple performances from Portugal, Colombia, Guatemala. All of these performing artists will be featured. You're going to hear from Portugal, Vibrant Simplicity and the jazz band Calm. From Colombia, hear DJ Sabo, and from Guatemala, hear Al Rival. Experience their energy of experience the energy of artist Lisa Lynn Erickson, creator of Vibrant Simplicity, and other renowned artists through their live music, stage lighting, and visual effects. All right. We've had some images up. Here's a promotional video. We don't play the sound because we don't want to get a copyright strike.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even that people who share our news with us control that. That's usually YouTube doing that. John, thank you. We love live music too, especially Ben. So Lisa Lynn Erickson, along with the Portuguese pianist and composer Ruben Alves and additional singers and composers, present Vibrant Simplicity, the global music sensation. They've got 12 tracks for you. This concert takes listeners on a meticulously crafted musical journey, showcasing Lisa's exceptional musicianship and heartfelt lyrics, which I think you can feel vibing through the screen right now. We're showing you a little bit of that. It's going to be in both English and Portuguese. Vibrant Simplicity was produced under the Escutar Records label, and that is a record label out of Portugal. All right. So
cool.
Check that out. It's Saturday, December 9th at 7 o'clock at the Lincoln Theater, which is the Wyndham Lancaster Resort and Convention Center. And again, for all you old school Lancasterites and Lancastrians, I guess it depends on the text. That's the old Lancaster House Resort, which, by the way, a lot of money was put in. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful property again. And you get to check out this amazing experience brought to you by MIC, International Trade Consulting. All right. So check that out. I mean, Lancaster, this is one thing that Lancaster does right, is local live music from all over the world. So this is a unique opportunity. Be sure to check it out.
Very cool. I'm hoping our guest is still backstage.
Yeah, I think so. Valonda's cool.
She's cool. She's been responding in the private chat. So let's bring on Valonda. Valonda Banks from Liberty Employment Solutions. There she is. Hello, Valonda.
Hi, guys. Great to be here.
Thank you for being here, taking time out of your busy Monday afternoon. We're going to talk about what you do and all the cool things about Liberty Employment Solutions. But I know you've been weighing in on the toothpaste and the bacon debate. We got to get that out of the way.
Yes.
What do you do with the toothpaste? Water first, then toothpaste, or toothpaste?
Absolutely, because sometimes if I fall asleep on the couch, I don't turn the bathroom light on, so I'm not sure whose toothbrush I have. It's mine or my husband's. So water first, always.
Water first. Okay.
Then toothpaste. Then second water. I love what Steve Goebel said, which I'm a big fan of Steve's stuff too. And second water, it's like the Hobbit breakfast.
Second water.
The second breakfast.
I'm a fan of second breakfast. So that makes sense. Okay. When you compare things to food.
Yeah.
And bacon should not be chewy like Twizzlers ever.
Okay. Yep.
Nope.
Oh, that's
if you drop the bacon, it should crumble. Bacon dust.
Mm-hmm.
No chewy bacon.
Okay. We have created Bacon Gate. After we eat our various versions of bacon, then we all must brush our teeth. So, Valonda, you've called Lancaster's home right now. How long have you called Lancaster home?
For most of my life. I wasn't born here, but brought here before I knew any better. And I tried to escape to go to college and came home about a year later, realizing I'm an East Coast girl. I went to school in Arizona, but finished back here.
All right.
I love the East Coast.
Very cool. What was it about Lancaster that you missed while being in Arizona?
Lots of food. So you pass Ohio and you no longer have like that hot pepper relish. There's no such thing as sweet peppers. And there's no good pretzels. No good pretzels. They're like, I don't know, they're the twiggy kind. You don't have Hammonds or, they're just like Italian food is just, I don't know, you're too far from Italy, I guess, after you pass Ohio. And it's just, it's
That's
like,
funny.
It's like fake Mexican, like Americanized Mexican food. It's just, So the food,
I'd
but
never thought
everybody
it was triangles.
moseys out there too. Like I would be walking to class and I'd be all by myself because everybody just saunters. And we're here from the East Coast. We
moving.
we go places. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Love it. Valonda, you've got some fans watching. Hannah Martin just chimed in, and she says she's your biggest fan.
Yeah, so
So we'll see.
yeah, I don't know that Liberty would run without Hannah. My husband and I talk about this a lot. Liberty
Okay.
Employment Solutions is the business that we built for Hannah to run, I think.
There you go. Well,
So,
let's talk about Liberty Employment
yeah.
Solutions. How did your company get its start, and what do you do?
Yeah. So how we got our start is kind of fun and a tad awkward. My husband, I say this, I don't know if this is podcast appropriate, but
Eh,
my husband knocked me up at 42. And so I was done working for somebody else full time at that point. I'm like, how did this happen again? And yet my dad was a health and phys ed teacher, so I knew. But yeah, so my daughter now is 8. Her older brother is 30 and just had a baby and is not in that picture. But yeah, it just started out kind of as a spare bedroom side gig. The goal was to just help some people out with some hiring expertise that I had from 20 plus years of being a hiring manager. And it blew up shortly before COVID. We had
well,
just moved into our first office. Hannah and another young lady were our first employees, and less than a year later, we had outgrown a small office in Leola. We quadrupled through COVID. We just started to figure things out in a crazy job market. The market was shifting and getting ugly before COVID. COVID just helped it, helped accelerate what we were already seeing. And so, yeah, we just put together a really cool crew of people who were creative and willing to figure some things out. And we were able to help a ton of folks. And that kind of led to now we have a larger office in Mannheim. We have employees coast to coast and business all over the country. We hire in almost all 48 states now. We're not in Alaska or Hawaii or South
wow,
Dakota. But
it's
yeah,
interesting. So you
yeah.
mentioned your husband. He's not on the show today, but he founded the business with you, and I think in a pre-show survey you described him as the funniest man alive, or similar.
Yeah,
Can you?
absolutely. He is the single funniest human that you will ever meet. He says funny things and then he doesn't understand why people laugh because he thinks these things and he stands by all of them. And then it's just funny to all of us. But one of our first value that we identified at Liberty was authenticity. And that's because that's who Jeremy is. And I would say he was a founder because I told him he was. The business was kind of
Voluntold.
voluntold, exactly. That is pretty much classic Jeremy right there. He is his mom said he was kind of an old soul, but he was an old soul that never grew up, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. So yeah, he's kind of we call him the chief distraction officer. So he's the
sure.
CDO. He came in and actually worked in the day to day with us for 2 years when we really started to explode. But this has never been like his dream job.
Mm.
So he and I made the decision that for the family it was probably better for him to move on. He just was ready to dive into something else. But the day that we told the team, I noticed he wasn't getting ready to come into the office. Like we had built a transition plan and all these things. He had a t-shirt and shorts on. I'm like, "Are you coming in?" He's like, "Do I need to?" Like, "Well, we haven't told anybody." He's like, "Well, I'll come to the meeting." So he came in a t-shirt and shorts and he sat back like this and he goes, "I guess we should just tell y'all I got fired on Friday."
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like, well, that's great for team morale. But they all know him and love him, and he shows up in our Slack channel and will comment
That's cool.
on people who don't pack their own lunch and who drink too many lattes and ask them about their personal budget.
All right.
And
Well,
Yeah.
we should eventually have Jeremy chime in on Toothpaste Gate and Bacon Gate,
mm-hmm.
and
Just don't
he
ask
could
him
do
about
that
the
in the
toilet
comments.
paper roll. I saw
Yeah. So
Chris
what?
posted that. It
Yeah.
comes up, not
So what?
down. You have to pull it up, and I'm not allowed to put
Oh,
the
see, no,
toilet paper on
no,
anything in our house.
no. It goes
I know.
over the hill, right?
I
Comes
know
No,
down.
because
people
I'm not
have.
on the floor doing this. The toilet, I mean, how low are your toilets in your house? Like ours
I
sit
know
about
people
normal.
have.
So,
You would think like this one. I'm on the outside looking in because I don't really have an opinion on toilet paper.
Mm.
I would
I
like to
have
ask
opinions on bacon and
Stephanie.
toothpaste.
I would like to ask Stephanie and the other nice wife, like, I feel like the people who sit more often should get to pick. So the fact that I sit more
The other
often and I
people
don't
who
get to
sit
pick,
more often.
like, I don't understand.
You don't know how I go to the bathroom.
Right.
Right, I don't.
How
I just
dare
know
you to assume?
my bad. Sorry, Stephanie. Happy
My
birthday.
goodness.
We are way off the rails of employment solutions, but we are being authentic right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So we'll kind of 180 right into the conversation. You obviously you're hiring in like 47 states except
Pretty
South
cool.
Dakota. Um, their governor I know is out there doing all the hiring. She's on commercials. Pretty good little marketing campaign for South Dakota. But anyway, I digress. So where are employers missing right now on
Mm.
hiring great people?
Oh,
What's
it's
got
such a
them twisted up where they're making mistakes?
I love it. That's such a great question. Wow, there's so much good news for small businesses that hire, and we really stay in the small and medium-sized business area. Like our clients have anywhere from 5 people to 300 people. They've just been able to scale without like an HR position. So that's who kind of I'll be talking about now. But I think the success is that people are having is their ability to actually consider the hiring process that you're actually hiring a human, that it's not this process or this game. I hear all the time, like, it feels like the rules of the game are changing. And I always want to say, there's your first mistake. It's never been a game for the person on the other side of the table. This
Mm.
is their livelihood. When Jeremy and I started Liberty, we talked about that. We said we recognize that everybody coming through the door, as much as we do have fun, I feel like we have a great culture. You can ask anybody who works with us. The bottom line is everybody's walking through that front door for a paycheck. And so, if you recognize that that check is funding something else in their life, maybe their season tickets to the birds, maybe it's their hobby, or maybe it's a business that they want to start. But if you can recognize they're coming and giving you the best part of their day, sometimes they're spending more time with you
Yep.
than they are with their family. So, when you recognize that, it's important that it's a good match. And I think we always say hiring's like dating at Liberty. So our process is slow, it's very thorough. All the things that you think about when you're like considering, when you were dating Stephanie, like what is it that you want to know about her based on where you're going, where she's going, and is this going to get both of us where we want to go? Not just am I going to get the person that's going to do all this work for me and I throw them a check every 2 weeks.
Yeah. You know, it's funny we would have this show at this time because I actually spoke Saturday. I mentioned this in my talk specifically. I said, if you're a business owner in 2023 going into 2024, and you're just like unwilling to look at the human aspect of the people on your team,
Yes.
you're at a great time to be in business because the robots are here.
Right.
Like you're going to get what you want. And while technology and automation and AI is great, there's always going to be a need for human content and contact and
Yep.
context.
Yes.
And we're the ones that'll tell the robots what to do there.
Yeah.
We're the filter. We're the
Yep.
lens. And we need good humans. So I love that you brought that up. What do businesses need to look for in the relation to technology as far as blending humans and technology?
Ooh, that's such a touchy subject, especially in our industry right now. People are designing resumes to get past AI. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of, it begins to feel like, going back to the dating analogy, Tinder. Like, how do I get this profile to get me
Mm,
to the right set of eyeballs? And, we don't at Liberty, we review every single resume for all of our clients. So we represent our clients to the job market. Unless you're applying for a Liberty internal position, you shouldn't know Liberty's actually helping, because we're not matchmakers. We don't do temping. We don't do direct hires. We literally show up to the job market as all of our clients. So yeah, I think there's a place. We're starting to do some of the things that we did before, and we're throwing stuff into Chat GPT to see if we can get it more compelling. But we're learning how to train our Chat GPT and all of those things. I don't think, if you're looking for a human who's going to touch your customer, I think how you
Yeah.
use technology is so important. One of our values is relational service. So what does that mean? We don't believe in good customer service. We believe in relational service, which means my service to Lancaster mattress company, excuse me, Gardner Mattress Company, is based on the relationship with the people there. And so if I don't have a relationship with you, I don't know how to serve you. And so I
Mhm.
don't I we're being very careful, kind of dancing around it, yet trying to introduce it where we can. Like for instance, at the end of last night's game, and I needed to find I had my chat GPT within 30 seconds created an image of a ref who was pulling up his shirt and underneath he had a San Fran logo on. That's how I'll use chat GPT. Um, and then I put
Which
that in
just
the group chat where I was being harassed.
yeah, just as an aside, what AI image app are you using?
I had a chat. I have the 4.0 paid version of Chat GPT.
Okay, I haven't got there yet. All right, so images are in
20 bucks.
there now.
I requested an image and it popped one up. I mean,
Okay,
it was a
perfect.
cartoon image. Then I asked
Yeah,
it to take a
perfect.
human that I knew and embed the human's face. And I guess it had a moral dilemma with that and said, no, thank you.
Okay.
Your meme game is about to.
It is. Well, just as a total aside, so AI images, the Mid Journey used to be the well, is still the great one, but you have to be on Discord to use that. You have
Oh,
to
no.
go through Discord servers, and it's just like, I need another thing like an app channel. Discord's technically a social media
Mhm.
channel, and so I need another one of those. Like I need a hole in the head, or like I need more debate on toothpaste than water. Um, but no, that's cool. That's good to know. That another reason to maybe upgrade. Anyway, I digress. So aside from technology coming into hiring and trends, and aside from people trying to make this more analytical and less from human, what other trends are you seeing right now? What do businesses need to know about navigating them?
Yes. This one
Because
I think is really important. Um, I don't know how old you guys are. I won't guess, although I was like writing down Stephanie's years over here trying to figure out how old we all are.
I'm
Um,
44, so I got
okay.
nothing. I
When
think.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped at 25, and so now we celebrate the anniversary of my 25th birthday, which we've been
Mhm.
celebrating for
Mhm.
25 years now.
Mhm.
Um, but when I think I was right on the edge, the cusp. Like my dad worked for one organization for 30 plus years. My mom taught in one school system outside of one move, like the majority of her career. And I didn't. I was the kind that was like, well, I think this is what I want to do. Now I want to do this. And I was still, though, in the days where if there were a lot of moves on a resume, that wasn't good. My son, however, I mentioned he's 30. He was in high school when the 2008 recession hit, and he watched me lose my job in 2010. So I had worked really hard, gotten out of debt. We were traveling, doing some cool things, and now all of a sudden that income dried up. And his generation decided that they will no longer put their career in one company's hands. And so I hear all the time our clients will say, I just want somebody that's going to come and stay. And I tell them, then you need to really understand who they are, what they want, and show them how where they want to go, what you can do in the organization to get them
Mhm.
there. Hannah's a great example of this. When she came to us, she learned how to do a certain function in the job, and Hannah's got a side gig outside of what she does for us, which we respect. And so as she was growing in the kinds of things she wanted to do and was interested in other parts of the business, we taught it to her. She demonstrated effectiveness, discretion, all the things, and we moved her into other pieces. And so, my son was like, I'm not going to college unless I know I need the piece of paper, and now owns three different businesses. And so I saw a British psychologist talk about an organizational development psychologist just talk about you no longer can approach the person on the other side of the table and expect that you have a career path already designed for them and that this is going to be where they're going to stay. You now have to be more intentional and interactive as people are progressing through their career. And that can be done at a small business level. It's not hard. It can be done simply. We have five 6 employees, and we work with contractors as well, but we do quarterly conversations. Doesn't have to be like, this huge performance management tool that you rank 7 things from 1 to 5. It can, it's just an intentional conversation about how things are going, what's bringing them energy in life, what's frustrating, what they see that we could do differently. And then we talk about what we see that they could be doing differently as well. But
Right.
just that human element of who are you? Where do you want to go? Here's who we are. Here, how we're going. And as long as this path makes sense for both of us, let's take the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I love all that, from the gardener's mattress and more view. So, we've had employees come and go. And, I think as a business owner, I feel you share this sentiment. Some of my proudest moments are actually been when people left us. So John Hockley from Weaver Associates now used to be with us, is now leading, managing a team at Weaver Associates. They do printing and printers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you put a logo on it, they did our shirts. They can do pens. We just got thank you cards from them. So it seems like Weaver does a lot of things. And John is doing great there. And we gave John really the platform to go to that next level when his family needed more that we just couldn't
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
at the company level we were at that time. What was that, 7 years ago now?
Oh my
I
gosh,
love
maybe 8 or 9 almost. Yeah.
And so, so I'm very proud of that, to have given him that springboard.
Yeah.
Locally, Santa Stumble is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this Saturday
it
as
might
well?
be this weekend. I'm not sure.
So the Santa Stumble is a big annual bar crawl downtown. Well, Pete Ruggieri, who's since passed away, bless his soul, he worked for us. And he came to us when that was, I think, 50 to maybe 100 people gathering, which was like his friend circle. And then it blew up to thousands of people downtown dressed up in silly Santa costumes and other holiday funny costumes. And they raised 6 figures with, I think, a 3 in front of it for what was the former mounted police and canine unit. And we didn't really do a lot for that other than donate money. But what we did provide was the time. That you said you respect Hannah's side hustle.
Yeah.
As long as Pete did what he needed to do here
Yeah.
in that extra time that was here, because in retail, you just kind of have that in what we do. There is some extra time in the day. We're like, yeah, if it's going back to our community, 100%.
Yep.
You want to have people come pick up tickets here? 100%. I think so many business owners miss that. They forget that there are humans that have other interests outside of their 4 walls.
Yeah. And I love that. I think one of the things that we try to balance is this whole idea that you need highly skilled people, but if they're cultural misfits, they're skilled assassins, we call them. If they're a good culture fit, but they're not skilled, then they're just expensive friends. And so I love, for us, we look for those people who are well-rounded. And the goal then is that, can we help not just provide this paycheck, but even celebrating some of that stuff too.
Yeah.
I love that you guys do that.
How
That's
do you
awesome.
how do you urge your clients that you work with, because you work with businesses looking to hire people,
Mhm.
how do you help them find and communicate what those skills are that people need to have?
Yeah, I think they already know the skills part because they come with the job description, right? And they have an idea of their culture, but the one thing that we learned through COVID is they don't know how to talk about it. I should say we learned it through COVID, but it was already happening. The unemployment rate was so low and the quit rate was so high. So there was all kinds of movement. In Lancaster, central Pennsylvania, because we do have a decent amount of local clients as well, have been so good at hiring and even just doing business on the basis of their reputation. The problem was when they had to go outside of their reputation or, you know, people that they knew, it was hard for them to articulate who they were. And so we spend a ton of time at the beginning. People say to me, like, how fast can we have someone? I'm like, if speed's what you want, you don't want us. We're going to be super effective, but we're not the fastest because we need to get to know you. We'll take the job description. You already know the skills, but we're going to look at the cultural fit. And then we're also going to look at the behaviors. And that's the piece I think that Liberty brings to the table. Because again, they know kind of what they want the work to look like, thus, what type of skills they need. It's the can somebody with the skill set actually behave in our culture? I think we're a great example of that. We don't usually hire people who've done hiring before, because we do it a little different. So we want them to learn that. Um, but somebody with that skill set could work with us as long as they understand they're working with a small business that's shifting with the job market, learning all the time, which means we'll readjust. And we hired someone who was good at hiring very black and white. And he didn't last long because while he had the skills, he couldn't necessarily function with those skills in an environment that was changing quickly. And so
Mm.
that's what I mean about behaviors. So skill set's one thing, but where and how are you going to execute those skills? It's like a pilot. Just because somebody can fly a plane doesn't mean they can be like a Black Hawk helicopter pilot in a wartime situation, but maybe they can lift off at Lancaster Airport, which is right over there, and take the lifeline to Lancaster General Hospital and pick somebody up off the roof and deliver them to Hershey. So it's
Mm.
it's way more than just the skills. It's the environment, like the culture, the pace, the way they're going to interact with a supervisor. And that's kind of what we help people identify so that when we get to that dating process part of it, they've got eyes wide open to all the different pieces.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to interject football here right now, but it's not going to be our team. It's going to be for our wonderful producer, Chris from Cast Ahead. Who anything podcasting, you need to get with Chris. You can connect with him in our show notes, or you can reach out to us and we can make a connection. But, finding the right, I love the mug. Love it. Fly Eagles fly. We're coming for you, Dallas. But to the point for Chris, love it.
He was in Chat GPT, wasn't he? Those
I
guys
don't
should
know.
be hitting that ref though.
Yeah, Chris pulled that up. But to the point of relating football to to what you do and culture and the
Yeah.
right fit and the skills.
Yes.
So Chris is a big Detroit Lions fan, right? I mean, we feel we're tormented as Eagles fans. He's had a lot of torment as a Lions fan. Jared Goff is a great quarterback in the Lions system.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bust in the Rams system.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? He's the same kid that
Oh,
came out of college,
oh.
right?
Okay, to talk about this though, we have to go back to Michael Vick. I don't know if you so I watched the Kansas City game. My husband's like, "We should watch Peyton and Eli talk about it." I'm like, "No, I have to help them. That's what we do tomorrow night." So the next night I went back and I watched the game with Peyton and Eli talking about it, just the third and fourth quarter, and they had Michael Vick on. I'm so glad you said this. And Michael Vick was a running back before he was a running quarterback, right? And he was breaking down one of Swifty's runs, and he said this legit. I have the chills. I'm so glad you said this. He said the success of Swift is not just that he can see a gap close and see another path. It's the angle that he runs that path. And
Ah,
in hiring, so we've been talking about this about two internal positions we have right now. And I keep saying to my husband, I need a ball carrier, but I don't just need a ball carrier who's going to say, okay, there's the route. I need the guy that says, there's the route. And if it closes, I'm going this route. And by the way, if that route closes, he can't sit down and turn around and say, what do I do now, Valonda? Like, I need the guy that says, okay, there's the route, and here's the angle we're going to take at that route,
Mm-hmm.
too, which
yep.
has me watching Swift a whole way different. But that's the kind of stuff. Like, it's not just about how they show up and do the job, too. If you're needing to delegate responsibility, you have to know that they know all the progressions, and when the whole playbook has to be thrown out the window last night, that somebody can be creative and make something happen outside of an offensive coordinator who's doing who knows what today.
Yeah, yeah. We built Chris up with the whole Jared Goff compliment,
Sorry,
and then
sorry.
we brought him right down with
Oh,
DeAndre Swift.
yeah,
Which I guess, honestly, to turn this back to what you do as a business owner, it's like know what does bring your employees up,
yep,
know what elevates them, and know what gets them
yes,
down.
yes,
What work do they get excited about, and what
yes,
work do they not, and how
yes.
do you align that? It brings me to my next question that I was going to ask you is, you know, in the vein of biggest mistakes that you see people make in hiring, what weight are you putting on like the discs assessments, the Colby scores, the
Mm.
rocket fuel stuff?
Ooh,
So
great
believer,
question.
not believer, and why?
Know the tool. Not every tool you bring to, I mean, I don't know about how to fix a car. I just know but I'm smart enough to know that every tool in the toolbox isn't used to fix every situation with the car. Like I don't need, what do you call it? The jack that pumps the car up. I don't
Yes.
need that if I need to change the oil from the top of the car. I shouldn't even use this as an example.
Well,
So
you
like
could use, well, instead
know
of
the
using a
tool.
jack, you could have ramps you drive the front of the car up
Right.
on,
Right.
and
So
that does
here's
the
the
same, has the
thing.
same outcome.
What does a disc do? It tells you how the person communicates. It does not tell you, oh, okay, great example. It does not tell you how good that person is going to be. So we had a sales guy who on a disc profile, if we would have had him on a disc profile, nobody would have ever hired him for sales. He's an internal processor, a
Mm,
thinker, he's a connector, but he doesn't have the sales vibe that everybody looks for. We sent him to a client who does digital marketing for HVAC companies, and he outsold everyone in the company. And they literally revamped what they were looking for based on him. He sold insurance plans to customers. That's kind of how he got his start. And um, was in a local company, was recognized in Las Vegas, blew up, literally broke every sales record, so much so that the insurance company had to change the parameters because he started teaching other people how to do it. He never would have been hired based on a disc.
yeah.
So it's so important to understand the tool. Right now, my favorite is The Working Genius by Pat Lencioni. It's super cost effective and it measures engagement with types of work. So it's not the communication tool, it's not a personality tool. Any personality can do almost any job, but
Mm,
but you won't have somebody stay who the majority of the work requires them to execute outside of what brings them life, or if it requires them to be in their areas of frustration for long periods of time, day in and day out. Now, that's not to say that people shouldn't have to do work they don't like, because you know, kind of all have to do that. But
right.
if you can keep them in your wheelhouse, and this tool measures it extremely cost effectively, very simply, and really transformed how we bring people to different tables at Liberty to talk about different things. And I don't want to take up all the time talking about that tool, but Working
Yeah.
Genius by Pat Lencioni. Or call
Okay.
us. We'd be happy to tell you about it and sell it to you.
I mean, such a good point about putting the person in the right position. And to turn it back to football, I coached youth. But, well, it came to mind.
Conversation goes right
Not to
back.
do it, but I'm doing it. Like we're coming right X's and O's, baby. Um, coaching youth football, we had a kid one year, Cam, and this kid ran mean, but he only ran mean when he had contact. Like he was kind of like Bobby Boucher in The Water Boy when he got the ball after somebody made fun of his mama and he ran the opposite way just to hit him. That's kind of
Yes.
what Cam was like.
Hmm.
Gatorade.
And yeah, it's like you say something about my mom again, I'm going to come at you. And he ran mean. But
Yeah.
Cam, if we put blockers out in front of him, he was an east west kind of kid. He'd just run from sideline to sideline because he's like, no, I want to make that first hit. And
Yeah.
once we got that in about week 2 or 3, we're like, all right, Cam, you get to run up the middle.
Well, just to
Just
keep
go.
it on football and assessments there, Swifty. Um, one of the assessments that we like goes back to the behavioral stuff we were talking about. Like I would say our clients know like what they want people to be like and how they want them to fit in the culture, and they know what skills, but it's that behavior piece, right? So we use an assessment from Symetrics through a company called Clarity, and they're awesome. And we are able to customize a behavioral assessment once we identify the what the role requires. We work in line with an organizational psychologist to help design them. I'm proud to say that they do work with 2 NFL organizations, and coincidentally, it just happens to be the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. And essentially, they look at how They'll do. They have an elite athlete assessment that they can design, as well as stuff for the front office. And yeah, we love working with them. We found that they've really helped us help our clients really identify this person that looks good and smells good. Going back to the dating analogy, when they show up at family dinner, are they going to be consistent with what we saw through the dating process?
Yeah, I love it all. So as we wrap up, what's that tried and true advice that you would give for people hiring?
Ooh. Can I give you two?
Sure.
Number one, your hiring process should teach you as much about the applicant as possible, but
Mm.
also teach the applicant as much about you and your team as possible.
Hmm.
And second, the best predictor of future performance is past behavior. It's true in football, Terrell Owens, and it's true in life. People don't change, save like death, divorce, a big move, or a come to Jesus moment. People don't change. If they did it in somebody else's organization, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
do it in yours. The good stuff and the not
Interesting.
so good stuff. And I will give
It's
Scott Fiore from TriStar Staffing credit for beating that into my hiring brain, like, I don't even know how
yeah.
many years ago now, 13, 14 years ago.
Wow.
It's so funny you brought up the TO thing because that's directly relates to managing people. All the front office had to do with McNabb was say privately, "You're our guy. We love you. You want more soup commercials for mom? We'll make it happen. We'll make anything. You want a Rolex? You got it. You want a Rolls Royce? You got it. We'll make it happen. You want a team helicopter? Fine. But front and center on page 6 in the news, it's TO. But you're our guy." That's all that had to happen there. It was a mismanagement of the front office, personality
That
clash.
and Terrell Owens was never disciplined as a child, and I don't like to raise other people's children. So,
Ah,
yeah.
good point. Good
McNabb
point.
couldn't throw a pass that wasn't at somebody's feet, though. He had a little bit of a challenge there.
Yeah. Well, let's go into our connection cocktail because we get to talk about the thing we all love one more time.
Valonda, is there a sports team that you root for?
I really like the Philadelphia Eagles,
Wow.
Shocking.
and I'm a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, my daughter could spell Eagles Eagles before she could spell her 3-letter first name. So
Wow.
her name is
That's
Jax.
impressive.
She could spell
That's
Eagles
impressive.
first. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what's your daughter's first name?
Jax.
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 Love it.
Yeah.
Not Deshaun Jackson related at all.
No.
Well,
No,
okay.
my husband named her. No, I didn't get to
Okay.
name her after a football player.
Now, is he an Eagles fan?
He will tell you he married in.
Oh,
He
okay.
will. He's a Ravens fan, but he doesn't like to watch them because he says they're frustrating. And I'm like it's not frustrating watching the Eagles.
Right.
But and he'll be a fan until I think the last night after it was clear we weren't going to pull that one off. He left a chat like this, and I'm like, "Oh, you're not worthy of the shirt. If you're going to try to skirt out when we lose, give me your shirt back. Like you don't get to wear that home. You either are in it to win
Love
it
it.
with us,
Right.
Love
or
it.
you're not. No
I mean,
bandwagon ticket."
frustration is the sports fan experience. Like that's almost all that sports is, with like this little bit of like elation and joyousness built in.
Yeah.
It's almost all frustrating. That's just what sports is.
Yeah, it is. So you've been in Lancaster. You came back to Lancaster. What are things you like to share with people that are must-dos about Lancaster?
That's a good question. Whoopie pies. I
Good
mean,
one.
I love whoopie pies. I like the
Good
peanut
one.
butter ones. I like the ones with white cream. I was just
Mm-hmm.
introduced to one that was a pumpkin cheesecake, which I don't love, but this whoopie
Mm-hmm.
pie was out of this world. You got to go to the Whoopie Pie Festival, which I think they started advertising for that. happens at Hershey Farms. The world's largest whoopie pie is
Didn't even
there.
know we had that.
And freaking potato chips. Have you been to Hearst Chips? They have the
Mm.
coolest drive-through light display this time of year at Hearst
Oh,
Potato
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Chips. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
We
Been
went out
around
of
in
state
years.
for lights
Zoo
at
lights.
zoos, but we just could have went to potato chips and
That's right.
got lights. Who knew?
And then we have an Eagles Pro Shop in Lancaster. Like, that's a cool place to hang out, and there's all kinds of fun things you can get there.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
this
Love
is
it.
Well
what
done.
I
Well
throw
done.
during the games.
All right. So last question. You're now a business owner. How long has Liberty Financial? I'm sorry, not Liberty Financial. Liberty Employment Solutions. How long has that been around? How long
Oh,
have you been a business owner?
yeah, 5.5 years.
5.5 years. So,
Yep.
what have you learned that you like the most and least about being a business owner?
It is crazy to me that this idea that we were able to make work across multiple industries, and there's just nothing like the alleviating the headache. That's the one thing we talk about all the time. We alleviate hiring headaches. That sometimes means we execute for them. Sometimes that means we teach them how. Like we'll actually consult and teach people who have the right people in place to do that. That's amazing to me. Like that's a gift to be able to wake up every day knowing, hey, this isn't as hard as you think it is. It's just you haven't had as much time to think about it as I do. Um, the most frustrating piece are the numbers. I love the people, but the accounting function, we have been working for a long time to have the right pieces in place for that. And that's painful because for us, our people are everything. Like our team is a pretty incredible group of people. And so for me, having that piece in place is how we care for them. And so yeah, that idea that you carry this thing for these people that you care about and you care for them and you don't let the two mix too much. Like that I think is one of the more challenging pieces of owning and operating a business.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Hard to put people on a profit and loss statement.
Oh,
Put them on a human statement.
Yep.
The human fund.
I was trying to finish on a good salient connective point, and you go and Seinfeld it up.
Always. Always.
Anyway, Valonda, look, this has been a lot of fun. Fly
Yeah.
Eagles fly. We're on to next week,
hmm
and that's that. If you need hiring help, if you're somebody looking for work, you can reach out. If you have questions, reach out. You want to learn about why DISC is just a tool and not the whole thing, reach out to Valonda, libertyeasolutions.com. We've had phone number up. All the contact information's in the show notes. You've got all their socials here where you're watching this. So please do connect. Valonda Banks, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for taking the time with us today.
Great.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you
I feel
guys
like
too.
I feel like Valonda could be like an every other week Eagles correspondent
We
for
could.
Lancaster Connects.
We
You know,
should.
bring her in.
Let's
You
bring
guys
that in
talk.
for next season. Yeah, let's
Next
do
season.
that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And I feel like if we were going to end, we should end in the song Broken Wing. Isn't that what it's
Oh,
called? Take this broken wing and learn to fly again.
Yeah, we're in that kind of melancholy right now. But come like Thursday, man, we're going to amp up, and it's Cowboys week, and
yeah.
let's go.
Yep.
Yep. The memes will
Yep.
start flying
That's
again.
right. That's right. Love it. Love it. Valonda, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate
Absolutely, you guys. Thanks for what you're doing and connecting really good people in Lancaster together. We
you. Yeah,
appreciate
you're
you too.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Look, if you want to be a guest on the show, a show on the guest wouldn't make sense, but a guest on the show would make sense. Go to LancasterConnects.com/guest. That'll kick off the process. I think we're booking into March at this point.
Mhm.
Maybe a spot or two in the new year left up through March, but we'd love to have you on. And again, if you're somebody that just has news to share, as we had I should have been a little more prepared for this. I need my eyes checked. Vibrant Simplicity concert this Saturday, the 9th at 7 o'clock at the Wyndham Lancaster Resort. If you have news like that you want to share for the community and the benefit of the community, that's also on our website. Please do that too. We have our contest going on,
Mhm.
the Taste of Lancaster gift basket from LancasterGiftBox.com. Go to LancasterConnects.com/contest and enter. We'd love to see you have a chance to win that. There's multiple ways to enter. You get more entries, etc. And you get on our prize-a-later wheel. My sleep better tip is from another learning lesson of this trip. It's not about toothpaste. It's not about bacon. It's not about the love of your life and the first date, although all that happened. 3 nights, 3 different hotels.
Ooh, that's rough.
Here's what I would challenge you to think about as far as your mattress and sleeping experience. Do you know if you've ever really had good sleep? Do you know, have you ever really felt it? Truly felt it? Because that's what a mattress choice is about. It's about the feeling. Support is there. Support's the floor. Everybody needs support. It's the amount of comfort that keeps you asleep. So the amount of comforters you might lay on the floor to stay asleep. Have you ever really felt great sleep? And I can tell you, across 3 nights in 3 different hotel rooms, I didn't feel good sleep at all. It was really, really rough. Because I have felt great sleep because I have a great mattress system at home. Why wouldn't we? Right? We kind of have our pick of the litter here. And we're fortunate for that. But that's my challenge to you, is to think about that. Have you ever really had it? And how do you know? So come in, experience some things, and maybe we can help you. If you want other sleep tips, sleep habits, sleep hygiene, sleep routine tips, go to gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better, and we'll mail you the Sleep Better book.
I had the same experience. Took the family out of town for the weekend, slept in different beds for a couple nights. Sleep wasn't as good. Was very excited to be back at home. It's nice to go away, but nothing beats the bed at home. Testimonial time for Gardener's Mattress and More. We had a nice review come in a couple of days ago from Susan, a customer who worked with one of our sales associates here, Drew. Drew made buying a mattress so easy and pleasant. I was really confused about what type of mattress to purchase, but Drew explained the options and provided plenty of time for me to try out different mattresses so I could rest easy, dual meaning, with my decision. Winky emoji. I'm sure that has a name. I don't know what it is. I'm looking forward to my there you go. I'm looking forward to my delivery and then a new sleeping experience. I would recommend Gardeners definitely. Thank you, Susan. Thank you to Drew.
That was another Seinfeld thing that we got in there.
What's that? Oh yes, the winker. The pulp. The pulp goes in the eye. What a show.
They just clicked off.
Yeah, they're gone.
They're like, why is this guy winking at me? We're big Seinfeld fans. Actually, when we set up the corporate structure, we had thoughts of having the corporate name be something Seinfeld related. But
you know what month it is, right? And we are coming into
a Festivus for the rest of us.
Get the
as
pull out of the crawl space.
Blows.
Last year we had a Festivus episode.
Maybe
we'll have to
December 18th is that week. We'll have to have it that week. A Festivus for the rest of us. Anyway, I hope you've really enjoyed this show. I mean, look, we're doing something special here at Lancaster Connects. We just had Valonda Banks on with Liberty Employment Solutions, which is about hiring. And we had a ton of fun. Bringing you a great show, a lot of education. Look, if you work for somebody, I hope you learn something. If you employ people, lead people, you really should have learned something. Valonda is a great resource. Play along. Get into our comments. Follow this show. Spread this show because we love doing it. We love bringing you great guests, great episodes. So thank you for watching. And until the next connection, we'll see you next week on Lancaster Connects.